What's going on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all platforms? Welcome to another episode of New York Giants Full Access. And we're talking about trade rumors. Now, there's some rumors out there that Brandon Aiyuk is on the trade block, and we are one of the finalists to try to trade for Brandon Aiyuk. So we're going to talk about what would you give up for him and how can he transcend this team, man. We got NYG and we got TP, man. So
yo,
let's get go. It.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to New York Giants Films. All right, so we'll talk about what can this man, Mr. Brandon Aiyuk, bring to this New York Giants team as far as bringing another weapon over here for the New York Giants to pair with Malik Neighbors and newly re-signed Darius Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson, man. What do you guys think about what this guy could bring to this team, man?
NYG, I'm gonna let you go first because I think we're thinking the same thing. I think we are. So I'm gonna let you rock out first because I believe we're on the same page.
I mean, when you're looking at Aiyuk, first of all, you know the Commanders traded for Deebo Samuel. So getting Aiyuk, you getting the better of the two off rip. Now, he's still young, still productive, although coming off an injury. But let's talk about what he adds to an offense. He can route run. He can work from the outside or the slot. And guess what? Now that gives you two guys that can work from the inside or the outside, and Aiyuk and Malik Neighbors. Now you pair that with your speedster and Darius Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson is still here. But if you want to use him as your slot guy, go ahead. You know, he may get some catches here and there, because there's going to be so much attention on Aiyuk, Neighbors, and Darius Slayton. Now, the thing about this whole thing is, you know, there's money involved and there's going to be draft picks involved, or at least a draft pick. So what do you guys think is fair value for a guy like Aiyuk?
I don't know. Well, it comes out that we actually get a third round compensatory pick for Xavier McKinney and not a fourth round. So what if they say, hey, look, we were looking for a second round pick, but you guys have the best available pick for us with basically the number one pick in the third round. Give us that number one pick in the third round and maybe a future fifth in next year's draft, or future fourth in next year's draft. I think that's reasonable. I think that's very reasonable.
I ain't mad at it.
You know what I'm saying? And we can't afford that contract. Now we will probably be in a situation like the Bengals, maybe 2 to 3 years from now, to where actually I think both those guys will be coming up for a deal, and Malik Neighbors and Aiyuk, because I think Aiyuk signed was it a 3-year deal or was it a 5? I think it was a 3-year deal, if I'm not mistaken. To where both those guys will come up again for money in the future. But if you're trying to win now, I think that's well worth a third rounder and a future fourth rounder. Because with him on the field, it opens up the field so much for Malik Neighbors and the Slayton and the Wan'Dale Robinson that now you really have to worry about our offense. So that type of compensation, yeah. But if they're talking about like a first or a second, I don't know. What you think, TP?
No, I agree with you 100%. 100%. I do want to just, make sure that I say this though. On the flip side to it, being a receiver for the Giants comes with some extra baggage. And so I kind of question Aiyuk, is he mentally going to be prepared for the growing pains? So I think skillfully, I mean, come on, man, everybody could use an Aiyuk. He has shown that he could either be as a number 2 that is truly a number 1, but in the same breath, it's just, I don't know mentally, man, if he is the best fit for us. And so that's kind of just when I think of just Aiyuk, when I think about this receiving core, where they are just together, I would prefer somebody who I believe can be a part of the uplifting part of things. And I'm not sure if Aiyuk is just that. So that's just kind of where my pushback to this move is kind of lies.
I totally understand that. I think Aiyuk can handle it though, man. He comes from a tough organization, man, with the 49ers. They play tough football over there. And receiver's going to be a receiver no matter where he goes. He's going to want the ball. He's going to run routes. He's going to catch the ball. It's just the thing that will hold me back is what is this team's philosophy? What is their philosophy running the ball, or what's their philosophy, period? To actually have a dude like this on the team and utilize him the way he's supposed to be used. Like, what should we run with certain guys like this if we get a Brandon Aiyuk? What can we run?
But and that also brings me to the Amani Toomer point, where he kind of, let it be known that he believes people are scared to come to New York. And I know a lot of people kind of push that point away because they like, oh man, we just picked up Javon Holland, whatever. But I think that mainly is for the offensive side of the ball. I think receivers are nervous and scared to come to the New York Football Giants because of what you just said, Pat. There's such a question mark on what our even identity is. There's such a question mark on where the direction is going.
And whose fault is that?
Oh,
I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you. I don't mean to cut you, TP.
Yeah.
But whose fault is that?
Up top.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah. Top heavy. You know what I'm saying? Baldy. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't mean Brian Balding. I mean the bald-headed coach of the New York Giants, Brian Dable. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He is the one that nobody wants to. Yes. He the one nobody wants to point the finger at. Like it amazes me. Everybody talks about Joe Shane. Everybody talks about the quarterback. People even giving John Mara heat. Mm-hmm. This dude just kicking back and
yeah, man. Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Brian Dable has been the problem. It's coaching. It's development. It's chemistry. All part of leadership, which is a direct reflection of your head coach.
Yup. Yup.
Now, we could talk about Brandon Aiyuk and everybody else we want to talk about. Sador Sanders, Aaron Rodgers. Ain't none of it gonna matter if your coach gets in the way.
And see, this is where I thought you was gonna go the first time. This is where I thought you hitting it on the head. Yo.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because TP, the one thing I know and the one thing I've watched with the New York Giants is Brian Dable, his coaching is not up to par with a lot of teams in the NFL.
Come on, man. Come on, talk about it.
And that's just real, bro.
That's the fact. Like, do people ever look at the Lions and say, God damn, we are far away from this shit right here? Like, do y'all look at the Rams and say, man, we look like we don't even belong in the league when we watch these dudes air the ball out, stretch the field, let their receivers run free, spacing. Like, it just looks completely different.
And it's not just schematics. We talking about penalties.
Mm-hmm.
We talking about an undisciplined team.
Mm-hmm.
We talking about tirades on the sideline. We talking about alienating coaches and players. We talking about coaches speaking out on you and wanting to leave, players wanting to leave, and players not wanting to come here, like you said, specifically for the offensive side of the ball, which is what I've been trying to point out this whole free agent period. They not doing nothing on offense.
Come on, man.
Come on, dog.
Why would
all
you
on the defensive side? That's why I said somebody must respect Shane Bowen in the NFL, and guys like Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns.
Yeah,
because they want to play with them cats.
Yep.
They don't want to play for Brian. I promise you that.
Exactly.
Come in here, man.
That's why everybody was kind of like, "Oh, we picked up Holland," and I'm like, "Oh, that's what y'all think of this?" I'm like, "I ain't seen one offensive player yet." Come on, man.
And that was the worst side of the ball, bro.
Yeah, come on,
it
man.
was last. Literally last. You can't get much worse, and you didn't get any better. Better. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, when you really think about it, on the offensive people we signed was people that were already here. Van Rotten, Slayton, and then we signed like 2 backup offensive linemen, but
so you stayed level with this 30 seconds.
Right.
You stayed level.
You're right. The only thing that could change is his philosophy of what he's running out there. That's the only thing that can change the dynamic of this offense. It's really up to Brian Daboll. Yep. Brian Daboll is the guy that has to get better. Yep. You could get rid of Daniel Jones. You could get rid of Drew Lock. You can get rid of Saquon Barkley. You can get rid of all these people. But the common denominator is Brian Daboll, because you took everything away from Mike Kafka, and he was actually working with the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we'll see exactly what happens. Let's say if they do get a Brandon Aiyuk, you know what I'm saying? We have to see, you know.
But even my fault, Pat. But even from just a receiver standpoint, you have to think about it. Receivers from the outside looking in are saying to themselves, "Okay, Jalen Hyatt, I know he's more than what is shown over there. But I'm looking 0, 0, 0, 0 across the stat sheet. So what's going on over there in New York? I see Malik Neighbors after games speaking to the media. He clearly is stressed the hell out. But we know what Malik Neighbors is. What the hell is going on over there in New York? So as a receiver, what is appetizing about coming to the Giants? We all watched Hard Knocks. You got on HBO. You got on HBO cameras and talk shit about your QB1. Why would a receiver be confident in coming over here? I'm just saying, why? So Brandon Aiyuk, man, it ideally, yes, man, yes, it sounds good. Of course, it's Aiyuk. But what's going to happen when things don't necessarily go his way? If the growing pains, the ball is not in his hands when, you know, as much as he would like, or when he's again, this kind of goes to the Devontae Adams thing that we kind of just spoke about. You know, when you're coming from a team that you already had to deal with that, you don't want to deal with that some more. You kind of look into to a team that, all right, they know what's up. So, I mean, yeah, that's just that on that, man.
Yeah, I truly believe that you guys do have the right sentiment. I don't care if you had Jerry Rice, Michael Irvin, and Herman Moore on the same team.
Yeah.
If your philosophy is whack, if your philosophy is a doo-doo, like when you play people like a Zudu in front of Evan Neal to see what you got in your number 7 overall pick right tackle.
Another show.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a whole nother show. And we'll actually get into that, man, here in the coming weeks leading up to the draft. But I love the thought of getting Aiyuk. I don't love the thought of what this offense will look like with Aiyuk if it does not change completely. You know what I'm saying? You can't just run everybody in curls and just run to the sticks and expect to get results. It's ridiculous. So you're going to have to change some things. They're super talented, but man, even the most talented people need some type of scheme in order to go to the level that they're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I can't go get a Brandon Aiyuk and give up draft capital and bring on that contract if I'm still giving Wan'Dale Robinson 140 targets. It doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
Like, though his target should have been cut in half, and Slayton should have probably got 30 of those, and maybe Jalen Hyatt should have got 40 of those. Who knows what Jalen Hyatt could have done if he got 40 targets? Do I believe he's the best receiver? No.
You know what I'm saying?
But at least put him on the field to distract some people with those deep routes, so you can open up stuff from elite neighbors underneath. And maybe Wan'Dale Robinson with 70 targets has over the amount of yardage that he had with 140 because the field is more open. And I can't wait to start doing film reviews on this team, no matter who the offense is, because I'm going to open some eyes this year, and I'm going to put the pressure on a lot of people this year, especially if a certain person comes here. And we'll be talking about that in another episode. But man, y'all got anything left to say about Mr. Brandon Aiyuk possibly being a New York Giant with these trade rumors going bizarre about Brandon Aiyuk being traded from the 49ers, who are getting rid of everybody?
Yeah, man, all I could say is I could hope for a couple $1 million, but at the end of the day, it's me just being hopeful. Look, trust me, I would love to be wrong about this whole Joe Shane thing. I would absolutely love to. If we can get a receiver, especially the Aiyuk caliber, oh man, I'll be the first one to tell you I am with it. But we'll just have to wait and see, man. We've heard a lot of rumors in this offseason, so that's kind of just where it lies for me, man. That's just a big rumor. I'm hoping. That's all I can get to you. I'm hoping.
Yep.
And guess what? We got two of the biggest hope dealers in the building.
I'm about to say, dealers of hope. You know what I'm saying? They out there in East Rutherford, New Jersey, New York streets, pushing hope.
Man.
Pushing hope.
Injecting that into your veins, man.
If they go get Brandon Aiyuk and they sign Aaron Rodgers, you have wasted a decade worth of resources, damn near. Because to be honest with you, you gonna have to trade assets. You're gonna have to spend money. You're not gonna get a quarterback. If you stink, then guess what? Next year, Rodgers is gone. Aiyuk is still there. Pissed off. No chance for a quarterback. You signing, Zach Wilson. This is how low this franchise has gotten. And the reason I said Zach Wilson specifically is because he's an ex-Jets quarterback. And y'all just love to be the Jets and sign the Jets players and sign everybody that the Jets like. But if Aiyuk's a Giant, I'm rooting for him hard, man. Solid dude. Go get him. Don't sign Aaron Rodgers, please. That's all I got to say.
All right, folks. Hey, Brandon Aiyuk could be rocking that blue and white. We'll see, man. But I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in on this episode of New York Giants Full Access with TP Way, NYG, Unpopular Opinion Sports, and Big Pat Sports Talk. Man, we out, man.
So to be honest with you, we got a couple of sacks because of hustle. And
a lot of different reasons is in the past, or it can still that quarterback that the Browns thought they were getting when they decided to pull.
Shadowing that offensive lineman and waiting for Jaden Daniels to do something.
Welcome to the NFL All 32.